Cincinnati and Pittsburgh for first place in the AFC North. In the Steel City on a gorgeous day. Cincinnati won the toss and wants the football. Bernard Scott, the rookie from Abilene Christian, makes the grab at the 9. Thought about going right, goes middle. And he's decked at the 30-yard line by Andre Frazier. And out comes Carson Palmer, who has not thrown a pick against the Steelers in the last 4 matchups against Pittsburgh. He has led this Cincinnati bunch that was 32nd in the NFL last year. Total offense, of course, he missed almost the entire season. The greatest improvement of any team in the league this year in yards and points, Cincinnati. You start with Palmer, and then you start adding in the factors like Cedric Benson's emergence here. And they begin with a 4-receiver set that includes Andre Caldwell, Lavernius Coles, Palmer tries a sideline route and just threw it away over the head of Ocho Cinco. Had a little pressure coming in from James Harrison. Up front, the Bengals look like this. They've allowed the 4th fewest sacks in the NFL this season. Backs and receivers include Benson, number 2 in the league to Chris Johnson in running the football, but he's had the most carries. He's had 4 games with at least 25 rush attempts. On 2nd and 10, fake to Benson, second straight pass play, and it's almost picked off. That was William Gay jumping in front of Coles and almost making the theft.
This play looked just like the one we saw Monday night many times. The Denver Broncos tried it. Sell out the play action fake, and look at the defenders. The safeties, they're used to this. Troy Polamalu is back playing center field, reads the quarterback. Look at the break. And Jim, you said it. Look at William Gay underneath the end cut.
You saw him miming putting a little mustard on a hot dog. Ocho Cinco had talked about sending some to the Steelers this week. He didn't, but some Cincinnati fan did. And I think the Steelers actually think Ocho Cinco did that. The 3rd and 10, and Palmer hits Ocho Cinco. Great catch by Chad for the first down.
How about that throw? How about the catch? Now Chad Ocho Cinco is going to talk back. But Carson Palmer, beautiful route, stems it up in the inside. That's what did it. Deception. Helps wide receivers get away from defenders. And Carson Palmer says we need a very good day throwing the football to the sideline.
16 yards on 3rd down. And takes it all the way out to the 46, moves the sticks. Across the middle. And Franchi with the catch for 4. Let's set that Steeler defense. Number 1 in the league against the run. Of course, it begins with that space-eating Pro Bowler in Casey Hampton. And the linebackers all so tough, including Lamar Woodley, who had a big game last week against Denver. He remembers that Bengals celebration back in September when they won in the end. He wasn't happy about it. There's Polamalu, again, who was out for 4 games earlier in the season with a knee, including matchup number 1 against the Bengals. He was not in uniform for that game. On 2nd down and 6. And they continue to throw the football. That's to Andre Caldwell. They've thrown it on all 5 downs. Now with a new set from the 41. Now they run it with Benson sliding off the first hit into the arms of James Farrier. Will give him 2 yards. But Cedric Benson, coming off another monster performance last week and a win against Baltimore. Over 100 both games against the Ravens this year.
Jim, it's been talked about a lot around the league, and I think a lot of people are going, well, why didn't we see this from Cedric Benson when he was in Chicago? Different style running game. He rededicated himself to being the player that everybody expected to be, and he's playing for an offense that does fit a guy like him, physical running and getting that extra yard.
2nd down and 8. Cincinnati's gotten off to fast starts its last 2 games against Chicago and Baltimore, trying to do it again, but almost again. William Gay stepping in front. He's made 2 plays on the football and could have had the interception on both occasions.
Over the years, when you watch the Pittsburgh Steelers play, it seems like their pass defense every year just kind of keeps sneaking up and getting better. And we've already had 2 shots in this game where defensive backs they've gone for the interceptions and just missed them.
Both times it was Gay. Brian Leonard in, their 3rd down back, who had a big reception in that first matchup on a 4th down play that led to the winning touchdown. 3rd and 9, and Palmer threads it. Coles, did he get the feet down? Wow, they rule it on the field. A catch. Goes for 12 to Lavernius Coles.
Did Carson Palmer say, I need a great day throwing outside? He's off to a start. Double coverage. But what he sees, he throws it out there because Gay never turns around to look. And will Mike Tomlin challenge the reception?
No, they don't. They barely got Townsend on the field in time. And boy, I'll tell you, the Steelers who were out there ready to go make the play on Benson, including Polamalu. They lost 3.
Good job by the Bengals. Let's see, does he get both feet down? 1. And it did, yep. I don't think he got him down, but there was not time. The Bengals alert to it. They know it. And we couldn't even get a replay up quick enough. Mike Tomlin had his hand on the red flag walking around, wanting to throw it out there, but didn't want to waste it unless he had more information.
It would have been a big challenge because that was on a 3rd down. Picked up the 1st. Now it's a 2nd and 13. Palmer. And that's Caldwell getting 4 yards back. It'll set up a 3rd and 9 inside the Pittsburgh 30.
Pursuit. This is what this is about. You get fooled, you fool the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, it doesn't matter. You make a guy miss, you make him miss, you got to worry about 4 or 5 other guys coming to get you. Everybody goes to the right.
Substitution penalty against the Bengals.
But what happened is they had 12 guys in the huddle. And anytime you do that in the NFL, even if you run one off, call a time, doesn't matter. They're going to throw the flag. But to go back to the tackle, the Steelers, what did Mike Tomlin say, Jim? I don't worry about missed tackles. I worry about the pursuit after the missed tackle. And they have it.
You saw Marvin Lewis, a Pittsburgh native from McDonald, Pennsylvania. About 13 miles from the stadium. Here we go, 3rd down. And knocked down by Ike Taylor. They were going for Ocho Cinco across the middle. And the Bengals will bring out Shane Graham.
3 knockdown passes. Ocho Cinco here. Cinco, but watch Rashae Caldwell down the middle. Oh boy, he had him and he threw his arms up.
This will be a 51-yard try. There have not been many 50-yard field goals in Heinz Field history. Only 2 ever made. This is 51 for Shane Graham. Oh, hits the right upright. Had the distance. Well, 12 plays, but they come up empty. Steelers and their first snap of the game from the 41. Point of the missed field goal, and it's over to Holmes. Finds the corner and is popped out of bounds after a gain of 11. Now watch the field goal try from the camera that's mounted on the goalpost. Just watch. Body language and everything.
Looked like you after a workout. A little shaky.
Well, look at this. The longest at Heinz Field ever. That would have been the new record by 1. Now the Steelers from the 48 of Cincinnati. Hines Ward gets it. Wide receiver screen for 4. On 2nd and 6. They give it to Mendenhall. And he slices through. Goes in kind of sideways. And squeezes out 7 yards and a first down. Unless they give him the spot back a little bit. Maybe they marked him down a little shy of it. Yeah, they gave him 5.
Hard for a guy like Rashard Mendenhall, but you always hear it. Make yourself small because the openings are not big in the NFL. And look at it. Just goes a little sideways. Has patience. Understands the blocking and knows it could be there and gets those yards. But his running, his talent, and you add that with an offensive line that is improving, and it's just making this Steeler offense so diverse and so good.
They have not lost since Mendenhall went into the starting lineup the week after the first Bengal game. 3rd and short, they have the first. That's Noeldy Moore charging ahead inside the 30 for 12 yards.
You know, I always say I hate handing the football to the fullback in situations like this. But Noeldy Moore is not a fullback. He understands how to run it from the halfback position. He gets the football enough, and he knows how to take advantage of blocks when they're made, just like that on 3rd and short. That's a good combination, those two being in together.
A first from the 28. Mendenhall running behind Kemoeatu for 2. Now it's a 2nd and 8. Good play action by Roethlisberger. He was looking end zone. Now taken down for the sack. Back at the 30. Fanene has the sack for a loss of 5.
Fanene, just a hard-working guy, taking over. Number 68 gets blocked well at the start, but it's the coverage down the field. And the Bengals, since they lost Antoine Odom, they don't have that premier pass rusher. Look at the coverage down there. Nowhere to throw the football. And when you get good coverage, what does it do? It gives the defensive line that extra time, and that's how you get the sack. Excellent job by the secondary of the Bengals.
Mike Wallace, quite a find, the rookie out of Ole Miss at the bottom of your screen, 3rd and 13. Been a big 3rd down target for Roethlisberger, who steps up, now runs with it, and has the first, lowers the head, and goes right past the Bengal defense, including Ndukwe for 15.
Know the situation. 3rd and long. If you keep him in the pocket, it's going to be hard to get somebody open. Kemoeatu drove his guy so far across. That's what creates the running lane. It's man coverage down the field. Nobody sees him running, and when they do, it's too late.
Longest scramble of the season for Roethlisberger, who now comes out on 1st down with 3 tight ends.
Big mistake. Made this mistake opening drive of their first game.
Mendenhall, that's Joseph stepping up, holding him to 2. 2nd and 8. Shuffle pass, Miller to the 9. Bengals trying to prevent an opening drive touchdown. 3rd and 5. And the pass incomplete.
Nice job by the Bengals, stopping, giving up the 3rd and long. But right here again, in obvious passing situations, they're coming with extra rushers. And Ndukwe gets in the way, knocks the football down. Those extra rushers, it's not a big blitz team. So when they do it, it can catch you off guard.
Jeff Reed trying to make his 14th consecutive field goal attempt at home. Be a 28-yarder. Sepulveda on the hold. Warren snaps it back. All executed to perfection. 3 on the board for Pittsburgh as Reed drives it down to Scott at the 4. Off a 1 hop. Scott, stutter step move, pays off. And he's got to get past Reed. Cuts inside, then the chase is on. William Gay trying to get to him. Scott takes it all the way for the touchdown. 96 yards. Bernard Scott.
For a Bengals touchdown.
I was sitting there thinking, let it go into the end zone, because I figured where he kicked the football and the bounce was going to throw it the return. There's where he made the move, when he kind of cut back and then got going north and south immediately. And how about that? Just a nice little move to the inside. Jeff Reed, no chance to even get a hand on it.
Uh-oh, little mishap here. Huber looking for help. That goes in the books actually as a failed 2-point try. Now, Stephon Logan, 28-year-old rookie for the Steelers. Trying to dance around and make a run back of his own.
There was an illegal formation on the kicking team. There were not 3 players outside the hash on the left-hand side. 5-yard penalty was added to the end of the play.
So an illegal formation on the kicking team adds another 5 yards. So informs us Terry McCauley, today's referee. Now this Cincinnati defense was on the field just a short while ago for 6 minutes before shutting down the Steelers inside the 10. Holding him to a field goal. And it's Mendenhall spinning for 3. Matt Spaeth, the extra tight end, in. Mendenhall goes wide right in motion. 2nd and 7. And again, heavy pressure. And twice now they've gotten to Roethlisberger in the corner. Dhani Jones this time.
Jim, it goes back to what we said. It's the coverage. And the initial 3-step drop, you're expecting somebody to be open quick. But that extra time is allowing the Bengals to get to the quarterback. And Mike Zimmer told us that last night. We're not talented enough just to bring 4 and get it done. We need terrific pass coverage to give us help, or we show them a blitz that they haven't seen before to get to Ben Roethlisberger.
A 3rd and 14. Good time for Ben. Fires it. Holmes, forward progress. Oh, they give him a very generous spot. I thought he caught it about a yard short of the mark. And you might want to look at this one on the Cincinnati side.
See, to me, these are always tough calls. When you watch the receiver, watch as he comes back to the quarterback. He's behind the. He did not make it. And
They challenged it already.
And he's going to be coming more anyway.
Cincinnati has challenged the spot on the field. Timeout.
What is the rightful spot after the catch by Holmes?
He's coming back there. That's where I think it should be marked. It's evident. We'll find out.
After review, the receiver's forward progress was stopped at 40-yard line. It will be 4th and 2 from the 40.
That's exactly what you were saying.
Cincinnati is not charged with a team timeout.
You thought the catch was complete at the 40. Well, not even close, really.
Couple
2 yards short.
Yeah, I know it's tough to mark these things, but in college and pros, if I want to make a general statement, they always give the receiver where it's first touched. Remember how hard was Santonio Holmes coming back? If nobody was there, he was probably going to go to the 39 to make his first move.
Now they Sepulveda up to the rookie Quan Cosby. He's going to take it at the 5 instead of letting it go. And he is tackled by Monday at the 29. Tyrone Carter now in at strong safety as the Steelers inform us that Polamalu has tweaked his knee and is doubtful to return today. We did not see it earlier when the Bengals were out there driving and ended up coming up short on the field goal try. But stunning news on the Steelers side. Looks like Polamalu is out for the remainder of the game. So they say. Here's Benson going up the middle for a couple. Benson gallops for the first down. Ryan Clark holding on. Jeremy Johnson clearing the way. The fullback springing him for 9.
Talented run by Benson, but watch the handoff by Carson Palmer. This is an easy one because that's with his right hand. But when he has that left hand trying to do it, it makes it so difficult. And when you watch the running game by the Bengals, even though this is the #1 run defense in the NFL, you have to keep testing them. You have to keep trying to make them think that you will keep with that running game.
On 1st and 10, it's back to Benson. It's a running start this time for 6.
Here's the one that's tough for Carson Palmer, the backwards handoff. When it's going to his right, he has to use that right hand instead of the left. And we talked about it last night with him, and He's used to it. No big deal. Doesn't really turn the football around. I thought maybe he'd turn his wrist to make it easier for the running back, but it's not been a problem for him or Cedric Benson.
Anthony Collins added to that offensive line, eligible as a receiver. And there's a pass good enough for the first down. It's Andre Caldwell with both Clark and Gay riding him down, but he got the 6 yards, enough for another set of downs.
Well, a little unbalanced line here. We have, instead of a tight end, that's the right tackle, Dennis Rowland. And the Bengals run this quite a bit.
We begin the second 15 minutes of action with the Bengals. First down at their own 35. Coming over to Caldwell. And Ryan Clark holds down that side, and it's a 5-yard pickup.
Well, let me go back. It's unbalanced line again. Here we have Dennis Rowland, just to show you there's so many parts to it. Extra lineman to the right too. But what it does, and we talked to Marvin Lewis about it last night, it's their version of the Wildcat. It's just something different. Can you line up to it? And maybe more importantly, does it settle a defense down? And all of a sudden they go, well, we had a blitz called, but since it's an unbalanced line, let's don't blitz and play a soft zone coverage. I think it does do that.
Benson, 2nd and 5, and he falls out to the 43. Will be 3rd and about 3 coming up. LeBeau's defense now trying to get that Cincinnati offense off the field. It's team number 1 in the league against the rush. Cincinnati's number 2. Palmer gets the first to Coles. And with his quickness, he takes it all the way to the Pittsburgh 33.
Good job by Carson Palmer. Retreats, gives himself the extra time to wait for Lavernius Coles to come across the field. He's looking to his left, and then he goes, my outlet receiver, Lavernius Coles. And Jim, we heard it last night. Marvin Lewis, Carson Palmer, both talking about him, how he's really getting into the flow of the offense and becoming a big part of it.
Coming over from the Jets as a free agent. Really took the place of Hushmanzada. Now with Chris Henry out for the season, they need Coles. He had a season-high 6 catches last week. On first down, they're looking in Coles' direction. He was playing a little defense that time, with William Gay having the better of that particular matchup. Bernard Scott is the running back, the man who ran it for a touchdown on the kick return. 2nd and 10, and he's not going anywhere on this one. That's Lamar Woodley. We talked to him, Phil. Third-year player out of Michigan, can make some plays.
A lot of people around here saying, well, he's not getting the sacks that we had last year. I mean, please, quit judging linebackers and pass rushers just on that one number. Look what he does. He can stand in there when the run is to him. He defeats offensive linemen, tight ends. With him and James Harrison, both on the outside, it's very unique. 2 extremely talented defensive players.
A pair of tight ends flanking the quarterback. On 3rd and 14, Palmer rifles it incomplete. He was looking at Andre Caldwell, double covered. Now what will they do? Will they try for what would be 53, 54-yard field goal?
Or you go for it here on 4th down. Boy, Carson Palmer had a chance on that last play. A little too far to go for it on 4th down.
They're going to punt it. Going to bring out the rookie Kevin Huber.
It's the new Bengals, Jim.
Yep.
Managing the game. Carson Palmer said punting is a good thing a lot of times. Well, you didn't hear that a couple years ago from him or this football team.
Cincinnati native out of McNicholas High School and the University of Cincinnati. Twice led the nation in net punting. They got a flag down.
Delay of game. Offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Now even give him a little more room to work with. Huber would have been fine with that. He'll just pooch it though from this point. He's had 3 touchbacks on the season, and that's the one thing they remind him when he goes out there in this situation. Don't give us net 16. Launches it high. And a fair catch. Bobbled but held on to by Mewelde Moore. We'll call it at the 10-yard line for the Steelers. Bring it over. Heath Miller. Good piece of footwork to escape the first hit of Jonathan Joseph. J-Joe, as they call him. 11 yards, though, to Miller, who's having his biggest season.
Heath Miller, most underappreciated tight end in the NFL, no doubt. Good pass blocker, very good run blocker. And talking to the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger and Mike Tomlin, the best hands on the football team.
Heath Miller, who caught passes from Pittsburgh native Matt Schaub at the University of Virginia, the Texans quarterback. Texans on a bye this week, as are the Giants. This is the end of the whole bye sequence around the league. First down for Pittsburgh. Man, that is a completion over to Holmes. A little stiff arm on the back end of it.
The Steelers offense, it does it all. They run the football hard now, inside, outside. They have the screen game. They got the quick throws like this time to Santonio Holmes. Really, what do you look for on the defensive side? You just got to react because there's no pattern. They do. As we said, they're very diverse.
Yeah, how am I now?
I went for 11. And they've gotten out of that jam back at the 10. So another set of downs for Roethlisberger. Fires it back to Miller. A short pickup. Leon Hole holding on. Only 3 yards. That's it. Second down and 7. Here's Roethlisberger. Stepping away, and he got it away in time. Good grab by Ward. Oh, what a good tackle as well, though, to prevent any advancement. Brandon Johnson restricts it to a yard gain. That was Frosty Rucker who was trying to take down Roethlisberger this time.
Good pressure so far today by this pass rush of the Bengals. Good job by Roethlisberger, but how about that tackle? Johnson in for Keith Rivers.
They got some backup corners in right now for the Cincinnati defense. David Jones, Morgan Trent. See what they do on 3rd and 6. Trying to D up against this high-octane Steeler attack that's gone over 27 points the last 5 weeks, and well defended, and no flag. Holmes wanted it. That was one of the replacements I spoke of defending, David Jones, 3rd-year man out of Wingate.
Well, the crowd wants pass interference on every incompletion, but watch Jones, number 20, outside, chases across the formation. Well played. All over the receiver. Nothing to complain about.
Sepulveda, who missed all of last season with a knee injury, back doing good things. He sends it down to Cosby, and he is tackled by Kieran Fox. 38-yard boot, 11-yard run back with a flag.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 55. 10-yard penalty. First down, timeout.
Bengals offense back out there. Bernard Scott, the rookie, is the running back. Palmer down the middle and off the fingertips of Ocho Cinco, who thought he could find some openings in the middle of the field against this Pittsburgh defense.
He did. I'll tell you, that was some route he runs. Watch it. He goes to the outside. Watch this break out and then back in, and he's coming across the field. The football just thrown a little too hard by Carson Palmer. Ocho Cinco gets up and looks at him, but you don't see that. I got to tell you, that's the first time I've seen that route run in the NFL.
Ocho Cinco with 1 catch. That came on the first Cincinnati completion of the game. And chugging along with a nice run. It's Bernard Scott for 7. 6-3 here, Cincinnati. And they've been going without Cedric Benson the last few snaps. 3rd down and 3. Pass a little high again. Going back to Ocho Cinco.
He's giving Carson Palmer some good stares today, isn't he? But pressure in front of the quarterback. Coming across the middle, another sharp cut. He's open, but the window is very small. Let's see what he does. Yep, oh, come on. But there was a defender and a receiver in front of him. Carson Palmer had to play it safe.
Ocho Cinco looking back at his quarterback. That's Logan stepping up for it. Couple of nifty shifts. And he's pushed out. 1st and 10 for the Steelers off the big punt return by Logan. And it's Mendenhall breaking a couple of tackles. Looks like he's got a 10-yard pickup and a 1st down running behind Hines Ward on that side.
Rashard Mendenhall really does everything you'd like in an NFL running back. Able to take bounce outside when there's nothing inside. He can break tackles because he's strong. And then when given the opportunity, he can outrun the defense.
On 1st down from the 36, Roethlisberger long ball. End zone for Wallace. Defended there by David Jones.
Mike Wallace, top of your screen, is one of these wide receivers. You better throw it now. And Ben Roethlisberger really just waits a little too long. He's got Hall by a half a step. But when you have a receiver as fast as he is, you got to be a little quicker in your steps, throw it up high, and let him run to the football.
Steelers come up with a lot of big plays, 20-yard plus plays. They're best in the league. They don't have any of those so far. It's 2nd down and 10. Almost intercepted. J. Joe, Jonathan Joseph.
J. Joe.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to him last night about it. What do you really go by?
Yeah, he said everybody calls him J. Joe. But I'll tell you this, it's evident. It's one of the big differences in his team. The corners, both 1st-round draft picks, when they get singled up, and they're singled up a lot. Johnson just taking care of Hines Ward. Don't have to worry about covering him when you knock him to the ground.
3rd and 10. And again, Roethlisberger able to shake free, throws on the run, and he's got his man. It's Holmes to the 15. Fanene and Pecco had a play on him for a sack, but it turns out to be a 21-yard gain.
Oh, you can't say anything to defensive players about this. This is just talent, size, and taking advantage of what he is. That's Ben Roethlisberger. But the initial coverage down the field's pretty good. Good job by Santonio Holmes. That's what they do so well. Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes, Heath Miller, they move when their quarterback moves.
1st down from the 15, back to Holmes. And scratching out every inch he can for about 10. He got away from Leon Hall, who remember was shaken up earlier trying to bring down Heath Miller.
It's a run. He throws it though instead quickly outside. I like these plays, especially when you have big receivers against smaller defensive backs, because this is what happens. Beautiful stiff arm by Santonio Holmes.
Roethlisberger admiring the effort by Holmes. And they got a 1st and goal now. Holmes already with 5 catches. Mendenhall met back at the 8 for a loss of 3. That's Chris Crocker coming up from free safety.
Good safety play. Talked about that over the last few weeks in the NFL. If you don't have those safeties who fill in the holes when the defense makes mistakes, you're not going to be one of the top defenses in the NFL. See what the Steelers have done so far this year inside the 20. a mobile quarterback, the running back situation straightened out, a good offensive line, they should be terrific inside the 20.
Second and goal from the 8, rolling out. Now throwing it, and on the rebound, incomplete. Boom. Nearly picked by Morgan Trent, rookie from Michigan, popped it up in the air. Leon Hall was also in the area, almost had a chance to get a hold of it.
A little bit different version of what they did last week, running the clock out against the Denver Broncos. Really well defensed that time by the Bengals. A little soft roll to the left by Ben Roethlisberger, and boy, that's some job by Morgan Trent.
Timeout called by Roethlisberger. Load up the left side. Ward and Wallace. Holmes to the right. And Roethlisberger, he's got the time. Now they come in on him and they drop him. Back at the 14. That is Fanene for the second time.
And again, it's the coverage that allows the sack. Good job by the linemen staying in their lanes. He doesn't have anywhere to run. They didn't bite for the little pump fakes that he had. I tell you, that is somebody that really knows what they're going against. But yes, Antonio Holmes raises his hand, but it is not there. Chris Crocker heading to the inside.
Jeff Reed has already made one today from 28. His old North Carolina teammate, Greg Warren, snaps it. Sepulveda, good job on the hold. And he drills it from 33 yards. 6-6. Scott. Well, 4 yards out. That's how far he ran the last time. 96 in all. This is another good return. Late flag coming in. Look at Reed wrap him up. 34-yard return by Scott on this occasion.
During return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 88. 10-yard penalty. First down.
A strained hip now we hear from the Cincinnati bench for Cedric Benson. Questionable whether he'll return. So Polamalu's out.
Well, it will change the game plans for the Bengals.
Pass intended for Coles. Keenan Lewis, we saw him shaken up earlier too. The Pittsburgh backup DB. He's got bruised ribs and doubtful to return. But Benson, a hip strain is the story, and he's been, of course, carrying the load so much this year.
Yes, Cedric Benson is back in.
He wasn't in on that last play.
No.
So he is coming back, and we'll test it. Missed about the last, I'd say, 6 snaps. Going to take it on the toss. Bobby Williams out in front with a block. And he goes to the sideline for about 4. Tripped up by Lawrence Timmons.
Now, Jim, of course, if they lose Cedric Benson, I couldn't really tell watching. Could you tell a difference that time as he was going around to the outside trying to make that run?
Couldn't really tell.
It was tough. I know he's not happy. You can just tell the body language on the sidelines that it's not good. Does he let it all go here? No, he does not. He's definitely protecting. Looks like the right hip.
Maurice Purify just brought up off the practice squad. Wide to the left for the Bengals on 3rd and 5. Palmer's missed his last 5 throws. Not going to get a chance to unload it this time. Harrison and Kiesel combine on the quarterback for the sack.
I've said this about the Bengals defense. Now let's give it to the Steelers. It's just constant pressure, pushing the pocket backwards, but good coverage down the field. And James Harrison, you give him this long, he's going to win the battle.
Hubert booms it to the 26. Logan with a flag. Oh, he takes a couple of nasty hits. 50-yard punt.
During return, holding, receiving team number 97. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And they give it to Moore. He's about a yard shy of a first. Ndukwe tackles him out across the 30.
Well, when you give it to Mewelde Moore, just Mike Tomlin just says he's savvy, really has tremendous instincts, just comes in the game, understands situations. And of course, that's a comforting feeling for all coaches to know the backup is going to do the right thing.
Here comes the blitz. Pass. Oh, it was caught somehow. Pecco was right on him. That was Mewelde Moore. And he signals what we do know. It's a first down. And a first down from the 34. Now launching it. There is a flag. And it's knocked out of the hands of Mike Wallace. Chris Crocker stripped it out. Back in the line of scrimmage.
Holding offense, number 83. 10-yard penalty. That is a 2-minute warning.
We're back with 1:55 to go. The Steelers, after the 10-yard holding call, brings it back to 1st and 20 at the 24. Wallace, the rookie, goes right over top of his hands. Does not have a catch so far.
A good room for Ben Roethlisberger to throw this football. He just throws it so hard and it's a little high. Wallace just can't go up and make the catch. And if you're the Steelers, you've got to be looking at the clock. That determines what you call here. Do you want to make the Bengals use a timeout? And of course, 2nd and long, the Bengals, if they stop them for a short gain, should call a timeout themselves.
You see just exceptional work by the Steelers recently in the last 2 minutes. But Cincinnati's got a good record on the season, too. This is looking for Wallace. And they get the flag. Oh, it's a big penalty. It's going to be about a 50-yard penalty. Chinedum Ndukwe is going to be flagged for interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 41. Automatic first down.
Easy for me to say, but he does not need to do this. This football is not going to be caught. They have good coverage. But when you see a receiver looking up for the football, there's a little bit of panic that has to set in.
46 yards. They gain on the penalty.
Oh, there's the arm bar. That's what does it. Stuck his left arm in front of Wallace. And that's why you throw the football deep. You take shots down the field. Completions, incompletions, and pass interference.
Sets him up at the Cincinnati 30. They go with the screen to Moore. And he's got another first down at the 19. That goes for 11.
Excellent call by the Steelers. Bruce Arians thinking the blitz would come. They have the screen on, but really a good job by the Bengals in limiting that to just a first down and not a run to the end zone.
Little Arians here in the last 2 minutes. You pick up the 46 yards on the pass interference play. The screen to Moore, and now what will Roethlisberger do? He flings it at the 10. That's Hines Ward still on his feet. To the 8. First and goal to go inside of a minute. Another 11 yards. Timeout Pittsburgh. Steelers have one timeout to play with. Plenty of time, 59 seconds.
3 receivers bunched. So tough. The Steelers have so many options out of it. Every game I watch them, I just go, well, there's something new I haven't seen before. But what they do in a situation like this was built to throw to the tight end. They go, well, why don't we put Hines Ward in there and let him run the tight end's route a little quicker, very savvy, good job.
Well, this is the 3rd time the Steelers have moved it just inside the 10-yard line. They've ended up with a pair of field goals on the 2 previous trips. Coming after Roethlisberger, and he's decked now for the 4th time of the half. Robert Gathers.
What a job. Nobody in the backfield. Steelers do not block it the proper way. 5 rushers, 5 linemen. Looked like Willie Colon turned to his left. That leaves Gathers free to go to the quarterback.
All the way back to the 17, reaching a half minute. And clock moving. 2nd and goal. Back of the end zone. Over the head of Ward.
This Bengals defense, they are hanging in there in some tough situations.
They are buckling down inside the 10. Now they've pushed them all the way back to the 17. And a 3rd and goal. Roethlisberger, right off the fingertips of Holmes. Back onto the field, Jeff Reed.
I'll tell you what, this is like standing on the tee box, Jim, and you know when you hit it perfectly, that special feel. Ben Roethlisberger threw this pass, and when he let it go, he goes, that is perfect. But he threw it so good, had a little extra juice on it, and I really believe that's why Holmes couldn't get his hands up to catch it.
I'm not sure Joseph didn't get a little fingertip too and just change the ball's arc a little bit. 35-yard try for Reed is 2 for 2. And Reed is good again. Stop. Well, the run back, it's a good one again for Scott. What flag perhaps can change any kind of ideas that Cincinnati might have. Kieran Fox on the tackle.
During return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 53. 10-yard penalty.
I just wonder if there's ever been a NFL game in history where there's not flags on special teams. Oh my gosh. The block is illegal and it causes the tackle.
Genty. Yeah. Bengals might have had a little chance to do something. One throw, possible field goal after. Had he not done that, but instead a kneel down to bring us to halftime. Cincinnati's only points coming on the kick return. What do you expect we'll see in the second half?
Well, what I expect to see, a lot of what we saw in the first half, Jim, is I think everybody goes in, both teams going in halftime, and they narrow down their list of play selections on both sides of the ball, and you figure out, okay, we got this guy open on offense. Let's call these certain types of plays a little bit more.
Kick down to Logan at about the 8. Into traffic. And finally wrestled down at the 32 by Genty. That's Mendenhall. And Dahani Jones the first to meet him, but a 5-yard pickup for Mendenhall.
I think if you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, if you said you go in at halftime and what was the most disappointing thing about the first half was the fact that the Bengals defensive linemen won a lot of battles up front and got to Ben Roethlisberger.
A 2nd and 5 and another carry for Mendenhall. And again, is Brandon Johnson on the tackle. 3-yard gain.
Yeah, you know, you think back to like week 3, Jim, we went in there, what were we thinking? That Rashard Mendenhall was going to get a lot of carries and he was going to become the feature back, and he didn't even get in the game.
No, that would come the next week.
Yeah, because he made mistakes, and Mike Tomlin during practice that week says, I have very little patience for talented guys. So it was his way of giving a message to him, and I think it was well delivered and well taken.
Got to start the very next week, and he has taken off ever since. 3rd and 2. Ball batted in the air and intercepted. That's Frosty Rucker running it back. Hines Ward was the intended receiver, and they pick off Roethlisberger on the deflection. Frosty Rucker comes up with it.
It's a blitz, well picked up. As you go to the inside, there is a free defender. And it looked like Hines Ward was not even looking for the football. It looked like it hit somebody in the helmet.
I think it hit Ward right in the helmet. Roethlisberger picked off the ball, but not hit the helmet of Hines Ward. It was actually the hand of Morgan Trent that caused the interception. The DB, the rookie out of Michigan, makes the play. Rucker actually comes up with it, and now the Bengals have their deepest penetration, and they don't have Benson in the backfield. Out with a strained hip, so it's the rookie, Bernard Scott. Tyrone Carter comes up, and he's in there again for Polamalu, who's out with a knee, just a yard.
Well, the blitz, I think Ben Roethlisberger must see the free defender to the inside. That's Dhani Jones, so he tries to throw it to the back shoulder of Hines Ward. It's way behind him. It gets batted up in the air, and Mike Zimmer, boy, he has been emotionally involved in this game today. Jumping up and down, really urging his guys on when they're on the field.
2nd and 9. And that's Scott. Down to the 11. Bernard Scott now being called on. That is something else. Cedric Benson's been carrying the ball so many times.
Yep.
Over 200 on the season when you factor in the few carries he had today. Most attempts in the league.
Well, I think it was evident, Jim, when we saw him go to the outside of the right towards the Bengals bench, his last carry, that his hip was not right.
They tell us now, the Bengals PR staff not expected to return today with that strained hip. 3rd and 7 from the 11. This is hit. Foshi with the catch. That was Ryan Clark who came up, hit him at the 6. It'll be about 4th and 1. They're bringing out the field goal unit.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's close. The receiver's just catching the ball, and that was taking the top of the helmet and driving it into his helmet.
Shane Graham. Let's see if they get a clean exchange here. Clark Harris to Huber. Snapper to Holder. 23-yard attempt to tie the game. And the Bengals have the game knotted at 9. Careful, Logan's going to run it back. In all kinds of trouble and able to get free for a moment, but Hall's not going to give him any ground. Well, you look at the AFC North, and again, Baltimore and Cincinnati have already tangled twice, and the Bengals beat them both times. And they're trying to win a 5th consecutive road game for the first time in franchise history. It's never happened in Cincinnati's history, 5 straight road wins.
And they love playing on the road, too.
With a play action, and it's over to Spate, the backup tight end. And they lost control of it for a moment. Falls on it, just a 1-yard gain.
We talked about it, or we haven't, you and I, just that Carson Palmer, what did he tell you last night? I love playing on the road because it's different. It bonds people together.
Have you ever heard a guy say that before?
You know, Jim, I think a lot of players don't mind it nowadays. They like to go into a stadium where everybody yells at them, and it's, you know, it's us against you.
Good hit, but Mendenhall manages to pick up 4. He just kept driving off that initial contact. 3rd down coming up.
You know, it's just nothing like for a player to come out of the tunnel and have everybody to start yelling at him. I think it motivates you, gives you a little bit of a rush, and like I said, you're by yourself. You eat dinner together. You have meetings. There's no going home.
And Carson really made the point too. They practice in their stadium.
Yes.
So you never get kind of a different experience except when they go on the road. At 3rd and 5. Needing to get to the 25 for the first down. And again, they're in on Roethlisberger and creating all kinds of issues. This time it was Michael Johnson, the rookie from Georgia Tech.
Yeah, good rookie from the outside. Oh boy, what a job. Just gets around Max Starks, just fakes him out and then dips under. They have high hopes for him. You can see why. He plays so hard that he can only last a few plays, so they're trying to teach him how to pace himself a little better.
Stepping all the way up to the 47 is Cosby. pick up Woodley, who was blitzing, and that pass goes to Ocho Cinco, much like the first catch he had in this game. This one for 13 and a first down.
Well, that'll keep him happy for a few minutes, but another nice route. Just stems it into the inside, and what that does, it creates room and safety for Carson Palmer to where to throw it, and he's very careful with the throws, throwing them to the outside. Very talented receivers, especially Ocho Cinco, makes the catch.
99 yards passing for Palmer. They finally pick up a first down, and it's the give to Scott. Again, Benson out. On a 2nd and 8. Palmer unloads it. Scott has it. Scott down to the 18, and he got away from Lamar Woodley.
I think Lamar Woodley was looking like the football was not going to be caught because he was in terrific position. Carson Palmer this year has done so much better making plays like this. Just a little bit of movement, and that is exactly what happened. Lamar Woodley was like deciding whether should I go for the football to catch it, and then by the time he makes a decision, Scott's already caught it down the field.
The 6th round pick out of Abilene Christian, who posted back-to-back 2,000-yard rushing seasons down there in Texas, including an unbelievable 73 touchdowns in 2 years. He's got one today on a kick return. Being called on today with Benson out. And that's an incompletion right at the feet of Bernard Scott. Nick Eason coming in on Palmer, causing the early quick throw. Here's the pass to Foshu, the tight end. And he's got it down to the 14, a gain of 4.
If you look at this Bengals offense, and they even talk about it and say, you got to get used to playing the Steelers. You can watch them on film and do all the studying you want. You don't know about their speed and power until you get on the field and start playing against it.
It's a 3rd and 6. Palmer's pass deflected at the line. Boy, that came busting through. Carter, Kiesel, I believe, got a hand on it. Timmons was in the area.
The going's tough. Here comes the blitz from the left. They spread it out. Carter gets the clean hit. The Steelers, they blitzed so much over the years. They know how to space their players out, and they know how to time it with the quarterback snap count.
32-yard field goal attempt for the lead. And Graham, well, that straightened itself out. I thought it was going to hook for a minute. Mike Wallace now is the returner instead of Logan. And Wallace across the 25 to the 30. Trying to utilize some of that brilliant speed of his. Here's Roethlisberger with play action. Holmes comes back to grab it. And let's go with a little stiff arm before Dhani Jones sticks to him. 16 yards gain.
Now, how about this? A play action pass to the right, but Ben Roethlisberger quick enough and understands the defense, goes back to the left side outside and makes a good throw to Santonio Holmes. When you run the football and you're patient with it, you will get sideline throws in the NFL. You just got to be good enough to take advantage of them. Carson Palmer, Roethlisberger, they both can do it.
Willie Parker now in the backfield for the first time today. And the pass, well, that was in the area of Parker, but wildly thrown. 2nd down and 10. That's Parker. And strong running by Willie for 7.
Well, that's what you get. Willie Parker's going, I need some carries. So when he gets his chance, you got to let it go. There's contact, runs through it, more contact, and gets another yard and falls forward. That was an excellent run by Willie Parker.
Still got a 3rd down, though, for the Steelers. Need to get to the 44. Just inside of it. Ball again deflected at the line.
Wow, this is something they talked about it. And this is what happens when you keep a quarterback in the pocket. Watch inside, the pressure, they all stay in their lanes. And when you do that, you're able to stop, see the throw by the quarterback and knock it down.
Brandon Johnson, have we called his name a few times today?
We have.
Sepulveda. And Cosby makes a fair catch at the 6. They got Cincinnati backed up to the 7. Palmer with that calming influence. Gives it to the rookie. Takes it out to the 10. On 2nd and 7. Is it just me or Scott, after he picked up that 120-yard pass play, he's running a little more confidently here?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. That first run, he worked to get 3 yards, and he dips inside. That's what creates the extra 3-4 yards to the outside. The big thing is, a young running back in a situation like this, ball protection is first, and anything after that is a plus.
Third and 3. Palmer. That's Woodley.
The key to getting the quarterback is the inside pressure, because Carson Palmer wants to step up. That's your reaction as a quarterback. You want to step up into the pocket, but where are you going to go? Nick Eason's inside, won't let him, and then Woodley gets him from the outside.
You not only knock down the quarterback, you set him back 11 yards. From the back of the end zone, Huber. And flags and whistles.
Offense, half the distance to the goal.
Can't back up Huber much more.
Well, he's the arm up from Chad Ochocinco, but there was nothing Carson Palmer could do. Another good game by Lamar Woodley today.
Special teams unit of the Steelers. Like to come busting through here. Hubert manages to get out of there. And Logan raises a hand at the 50. Right at midfield with 2:51 to go in the third. Mendenhall plows ahead. Not much of an opening. Only a yard. And again, Brandon Johnson's all over the football.
This Bengals defense kind of doing what the Steeler defense last week, Jim, is that 4 starters out for the Steelers on Monday night, maybe played their best defensive game of the year. And the Bengals, you said it, Johnson, Keith Rivers, linebacker out. He is everywhere making plays.
Mendenhall 10 for 31. This is the number 2 rush defense in the league. And showing it so far. Sideline completion to Mike Wallace, who has a first catch of the day. Good for 16.
Good pickup. Watch Rashard Mendenhall, 34. Oh, couldn't see him. But Mike Wallace, the speed, top of the screen, his speed makes you honor it, and you're able. Ooh, just enough. Rashard Mendenhall, you got to learn when you go too low, these defensive players are very good. They'll just step over the top of you.
Come out on first down, go spread. the catch by Miller. Crowd reacts to Miller. Boy, is he some kind of reliable.
He is, and Ben Roethlisberger, watch it, just holds it up in the air and does it. That might have been a triple pumper. That might have been a record even for him. To stand in that position, still be strong enough to throw it and have accuracy to throw it to Heath Miller.
His name is Earl, actually, Earl Heath Miller, who was recruited to Virginia by George Welsh as a quarterback, committed there as a quarterback, became a tight end in a hurry, though. And won the John Mackey Award there in Charlottesville. 2nd and 1. Mendenhall has the first down to the 21.
That defensive stand by the Steelers has given this offense some life too. Crowd got into it. Mike Tomlin loves it. All coaches like it when their team is powerful and wins the point of attack.
Closing seconds of the 3rd quarter. They're going to switch ends already. As we get this final 15 minutes started at the 21. And the pass over to Ward. Shakes off the hip. Still on his feet down to about the 13. Got away from Chris Crocker.
That's a nice job by Hines Ward. Just a little bit of everything in there, what you want from your team. Good execution, good run, and just a sign of toughness from your toughest player.
2nd and 2 to go. They've been down here several times today. That's Mendenhall. Now let's see if they can pick up on 3rd and short. They missed their last 5 3rd down conversions. Mendenhall. Now it looks like the spot's going to be good for the first. Referee coming up from the linesman from the near side. No, they went with the spot on the other side. And I'm not so sure.
Oh, when I initially saw the play, I just thought it was a given that he kind of worked his way through there and got the first down.
Yeah, he's short. I tell you, the linesman on this side.
There's a yard's difference, Jim.
There really was.
On this side, yes. A yard's difference. Let's watch it. Here's the cut. Oh.
Looks like he's got it even from that angle.
Yep. I don't feel quite as confident after that last replay.
They're going for it, and they're not going to challenge.
Yeah, I think it's a good no challenge by Mike Tomlin. Unless it's egregious. In other words, it's just you can't mistake it that it was a different spot. They're not going to overturn it.
Saw that with Andy Reid and the Eagles losing a couple of challenges last week. Roethlisberger drives it. Got to believe he has it this time. Yep.
Wow, look at that. All the linemen just, everybody knows what the play is going to be. Mike Tomlin, he knows this is a chance. Could be the winning drive if you score a touchdown.
On 1st down, Mendenhall. Knocked back to the 12 with a flag. Fanene comes up.
Holding. Offense number 68. 10-yard penalty.
Boy, what is it with the Steelers? You get them down to about the 10-yard line today, and it all goes haywire.
Came on to left guard. number 68. Puts his arms around it.
Ten-yard penalty, takes it back just outside the 20. It's not a goal to go. They can actually get a first. Just a football links outside of the end zone line. Dump it off Mendenhall. Oh, nice shifty move twice, but only to the 16. Give him about 4, maybe 5.
To the 16.
You're right. Excellent move, but the hustle of the defense. Everybody going to where the football is thrown allows Rashard Mendenhall to only get 4 yards. Boy, Ben Roethlisberger, how many times today have we seen him pump the football and it not really result in anything for him? Where in the past, Monday night, all the games this year, it seems like every time he pumped the football, there was a wide open receiver to throw to after that.
2nd and 15. This is the 16th snap today inside of the 20. They have not scored a touchdown. This one's knocked down. That's Fanene.
We'll talk about it.
He's had 2 sacks in this game and now a knockdown pass.
The blitz came late, so what happens is they block down, and that's why Fanene is wide open. So they timed it perfectly in the offensive line. They make a call, whatever it is, to squeeze down inside, because they can't handle a linebacker that sneaks up at the last second that wants to come between the center and guard. And when you do that, that leads one of the defensive linemen to the outside unblocked.
Now it's 3rd and 15. All kinds of time looking for Wallace, and just a little too far. So back again will be Jeff Reed with a chance to tie it.
Ben Roethlisberger forgot to send Hines Ward in motion, trying to give him a running start so he could go down the middle of the field. But what good coverage. Oh, that was a good route. They had him double covered, Santonio Holmes, to move outside and go back in. Ben Roethlisberger just picked the wrong side. That's what it is. You pick one, you live with it.
34 yards to tie it. Jeff Reed, who came here in 2002, had a tryout with 3 others right on this field, with Bill Cowher watching. And the kick is good, just inside that right upright. Back in Pittsburgh, we've had 3 ties and 3 lead changes. We're tied again, 12-12. Just under 12 minutes to go, 11:20 on the clock. Bernard Scott grabs it at the 6 and takes off 30, 35, and down there by Arnold Harrison. Carson Palmer, you talked about it, Phil, loves to play on the road. Calming influence. Got to go without his main featured running back, who's been a real star this season.
And he talked about how much he likes playing this style of quarterbacking.
Brian Leonard wrestled down by Timmons at the 39.
And what I mean by that, Jim, is just knowing that what he does on offense can help the defense, knowing situations better than ever as a player. And Marvin Lewis said, I think he matured and just became a better football player after standing on the sidelines last year and watched what was going on.
That was pretty interesting, wasn't it?
Yep.
Got to watch the game like a coach, more like a coach. And he got more attuned with every game that he had to stand on the sideline. It's paid off this season. The 2nd and 5. Almost intercepted. Oh, should have been by Ryan Clark.
You hear me say all the time, you must see in front of the wide receiver. And Ocho Cinco going across the field. You think he's open? Look at that. 2 defenders over there waiting for the football. I would think as a quarterback, when you play the Steelers defense, it's easy to lose your patience because the opportunities are so few.
Another third down. They haven't converted one in a long time. They missed their last 6. 45 for the first. Leonard got it. Turns the corner onto the Pittsburgh side.
Complete to Leonard.
Ocho Cinco threw a block for him, but it was Brian Leonard who had that crucial 4th and 10 reception against Pittsburgh in the last minute, and a 2-point catch against them in their first matchup.
That was just a throw and catch. We're going to throw it and catch it and run before you can react to it. James Ferrier not able to get there. Excellent block by Ocho Cinco to give him those extra yards.
Collects 17. Takes it to the Steelers 43. Scott squirts through. Looked like he was going to be hit for a loss. Got away from Ziggy Hood. Gains 3 or 4 yards.
I said, kind of like has one of those running backs. It looks like when you watch Scott can kind of hop side from side and still go forward.
Second and 7. To Coles with the catch near the 24.
Well, that was an excellent route by Lavernius Coles. Gay has outside technique, but he just presses it up the field enough. And when he does, he makes William Gay turn his hips. And when he does it, Carson Palmer anticipates the throw right on target. Excellent execution.
Good for 16. Impressive drive by the Bengals. Now at the Pittsburgh 24. And they try to bull right ahead with Brian Leonard. Good for a yard.
Well, Jim, you know, if you're a casual fan, and not that you are, but if anybody you're watching the game, you go, why do the Bengals keep trying to run the football? Well, it's to keep their offensive line aggressive. So when they do throw it, it'll probably give Carson Palmer better protection and make the Steelers defense play honest.
Second and 9. Catch at the 17. Again, it's Coles.
Let's go, let's go.
Gain of 6, but it'll set up 3rd and short.
Well, this Lavernius Coles,
It's a third down and 3.
shoe comes off, so he's going to try to get it fixed before the next play. But we've covered him enough, Jim, when he's with the Jets. He's just tough. He fits into this new Bengals football team.
Timeout, Cincinnati. Jim Nance, Phil Simms back in Pittsburgh. The Bengals owned the 4th quarter in their first matchup. They came back from 11 down in that final quarter to win it. 3rd and 3, a little dish to Leonard. He's about a half-yard short. Now what do you do?
Yeah, this is a tough decision. And he's not, Marvin Lewis not even going to hesitate. I would make a measure. Looks like it's going to be about a foot or 2 foot short, 2 feet short.
Hey, got a chance to take the lead. You take the lead, right?
Yes. As tough as his defense is, and as tough as this game is, it's not going to be a yard, Jim, but it's still far enough where if it's 1 or 2 inches, that's one thing.
They've got Shane Graham out on the field. Graham, who almost kicked the longest NFL field goal in Heinz Field history, hit the upright from 51 yards, plenty of distance. A little botched attempt. He never had a chance to kick it on an extra point. Otherwise, they'd be leading right now.
And the big thing here is your defense is playing very well. Don't take it away from them.
It'll be 32 yards. Shane Graham puts Cincinnati in front from 32 out. Yeah, watch the Cincinnati defensive unit. Petco, Rucker, Fanene.
That's pretty good.
He'll be on that field in a minute. Hope they still have some energy. There's Logan from the 5. Butts heads at the 27. Going for the long ball. And no one there. They had double coverage on Holmes. Sticking right with him was Morgan Trent. He's had a busy day, that rookie defensive back. He's played well.
Yeah, he has. You know, Jim, I'm going to look at this Bengals defense and go back to what Mike Zimmer said. 3 big keys he told us last night. Keep the quarterback in the pocket. Overall, that's worked out very well. He was worried about his corners making tackles. Well, when they've had the chance, they've gotten it done. And then he was yards after contact. Not after catches, after contact. And they've been good tacklers today, the Bengals defense. Not giving up those big plays.
2nd and 10. They're trying to pounce on a blitz. Over to Holmes. Been the favorite target of Roethlisberger today. Gain of 7.
Well, here comes the blitz. The Steelers, they're ready for it. Good blocking by Mendenhall. And then most importantly, just a good tackle by Morgan Trent on the outside. Don't give up the extra yards after contact, just what we talked about.
3rd and about 3. Through the hands of Heath Miller. Boy, I don't know. We'll have to take another look at that, but he is someone that seldom has a catchable ball in his area ever go through his hands.
Coming from the inside, he's open immediately. It's going to be a good throw. No, it's just too high.
Too high. That was not a drop.
You know, really, again, it's just the defenders get around Roethlisberger's feet.
A spiral punt down to the 15. Cosby. And little Logan makes the hit. Stephon Logan. Cincinnati from the 21. 6:15 to go. Put it in the hands of the rookie, Bernard Scott. And again, he's starting to run with confidence. But a little slow to get up here.
Good blocking on the outside. James Harrison. Can't tell what really happens here. Coates on Harrison wins the battle just enough to let Scott, who's fast, get to the outside and pick up 8 yards.
Scott comes out. That's a run by Leonard. First down, Leonard. Down to the 3rd running back, the Bengals. And the flag comes out. Whitworth and Harrison had an exchange.
92 black.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, blow to the head. Defense number 92. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Oh, it goes against Harrison.
Field position, time off the clock, first down. A lot of things that work against the Steelers in this situation.
Steelers have 3 timeouts, Phil, but the football, first down, Cincinnati at its own 49. Leonard to the 48, inside of 4 minutes to go. Scott is back in. They fake to him. Little toss to Coles. Timmons giving chase, but not until Cole steps out with another first.
Forced out of bounds by Timmons.
What a timely call by the Bengals offense. And Bob Burkowski, Lavernius Coles, look where he comes from, all the way from the left outside the tight end on the left side. So if you got him in man-to-man coverage, how are you going to fight your way through all that traffic and get there? Well, you can't, especially after a play-action fake.
On first. Scott. Scott again squeezes something out of nothing. There was not an opening there. I didn't see a crease. The slightest little crack, though, and the rookie took advantage for another first down.
Yeah, what was really impressive, too, was the right side of that Bengal offensive line as they all stayed on their blocks. Look at Dennis Rowland. Doesn't allow the defender to get away from him. That allows Scott to come off the edge and get that. Look at that, 64, Kyle Cook. Good job inside against Hope.
Since 1991, the Steelers have swept the 2 games 10 times on Cincinnati. The Bengals have done it only once. That back in 1998. They're trying to do it again today. Here's Scott trying to sidestep a hit. Timmons held on by the ankles. No gain.
Going down for no gain.
Approaching 2 minutes. 2:13 and a timeout now called by the Steelers. One with a pass now. Pittsburgh not expecting that, but Palmer will run it. And will Pittsburgh take another quick timeout? 2:06. And they do take their second timeout. A 3rd and 8 from the Pittsburgh 28, and timeout called by Carson Palmer.
Had to take it, Jim. The play clock was going down, and the defense was going to blitz, so he needed time to think about it and get his pass protection right.
Oh, and some contact and flags everywhere. Lawrence Timmons maybe a little jumpy. 94 for Pittsburgh.
Offset encroachment. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's just I don't even know if it's a hard snap count. It's not. They're just trying to time the blitz. And Timmons jumps. I really thought the Bengals would run the football there and go for the long field goal. I really believe they'll run it now in this situation. It's a blitz. Single coverage all over the field.
3rd and 3. Scott knocked back for about a 2-yard loss. Nick Eason. Shane Graham, 43 yards. Shane Graham. Almost dead center. 18-12. Logan. Takes it across the 30 to the 34. 30-yard run back. Now that offense that's been bottled up all day and has failed to get anything out of the red zone trips. Can they find the answer here in the game's last 2 minutes?
Well, this is what Ben Roethlisberger has excelled at this year. The no-huddle offense in these situations. And as Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, said, Mike Tomlin, he gets in rhythm, and that's when, of course, he is dangerous. Three-down look.
He got a hold of him, and the pass definitely influenced. Too high for Hines Ward, and Brandon Johnson was the one again.
What an aggressive approach by the Bengals. They come with the blitz. It's 3-down linemen. It's a different look. Roethlisberger just does a good job just to get rid of the football. Boy, Johnson has been everywhere, Jim. You've said it many times. He found out it's hard to bring Big Ben down.
Ties his season high in sacks. Been hurried 8 times in all. And second down and 10. For the pump fake and an air out with Wallace. Oh, and he could not get around Crocker. So third down coming up. It's Chris Crocker on the coverage. He joined Cincinnati last year when the Bengals were 0-7. Boy, I tell you, the fortunes changed shortly after his arrival.
Well, Chris Crocker, here's what he does well. Look, he turns and finds the football and goes to make a play. If he never turned around, this could have been pass interference, but he has every right to that football just as much as Mike Wallace does. Up to this point, the defensive backs today they've had an outstanding day for the Bengals defense.
A 3rd and 10 for Roethlisberger. Down the middle, bouncing around and almost intercepted. Jonathan Joseph was the first one to get a hand on it.
Well, you remember yesterday, Jonathan Joseph says that every once in a while, Mike Zimmer brings him to the sideline and says, hey, you guys are on your own. And what pressure he puts on the young corners. Leon Hall and Jonathan Joseph, that looked like it might have hit him in the head.
His 2 corners, Hall and Joseph, with 4 picks apiece. They each had one last week, and he could have had one right there. 4th down. Must make a play. Roethlisberger hit when he threw it. That Cincinnati defense comes storming through. Michael Johnson never gave Ben any time at all.
That's the story of the day, is the pressure on Ben Roethlisberger. The Bengals, they play safe defense and they bring an extra defender. There's Johnson, Frosty Rucker, Geathers, all of them.
How about that? Just 1:26 to go. The Steelers have only 1 timeout. Pittsburgh managed only 87 yards total offense in the second half.
Boy, the Bengals so excited. We even had some of the Steelers say, what do you remember about the first game? The way they celebrated, the Bengals they were talking about. They acted like they won the Super Bowl. Well, you know what? To them, it's close to it. Beating the defending Super Bowl champions twice.
Marvin Lewis coming back home. Attended Fort Cherry High School right here on the outskirts. Same school Marty Schottenheimer went to years before him. Grew up idolizing Steeler players like Franco and Lynn Swann. Coached over at Pitt. Was a Steelers linebacker coach in the 92 through 95 stretch. How about a team beating Baltimore twice and Pittsburgh twice in your first 9 games of the season? You got 4 wins against those 2 powerhouses, last year's AFC Championship game finalists.
Jim, we've done 2 games of the Bengals, both Steeler games, and we asked Ocho Cinco last night, when did you know this team was going to be what we're seeing on the field? Training camp. He knew it.
Yep.
The way they practice.
Attitude.
The attitude. He goes, man, we got swagger, confidence, and it shows on the field.
Tell in training camp. He said things were going to be different. The Bengals not only on top of the AFC North, but the big advantage with what they've done against the 2 powerhouses, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. 5-0 overall in the division. A hard-fought win here. They never let the Steelers in the end zone today. Well, the Steelers had won 5 in a row. They hadn't lost since Cincinnati beat them in September.